Hi guys, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. Today, as you see, got the whole lineup here. These are all the schools that accepted me, and I'm gonna be talking about why I eliminated each one and which one I will ultimately be going to, because in my last video I did baking a cake to announce my college decision, but I didn't really talk about like why I didn't choose the other ones, and I feel like this might be valuable to those of you who haven't decided yet, or if you're gonna be in my shoes like maybe in a year or so. So you asked and you shall receive. So the schools that rejected me were Harvard and UPenn, but honestly, it's chill. They're really difficult to get into, and I'm super grateful that I got into everything else that I applied to. So here we have Northeastern, USC, Loyola Marymount, UCLA, Wheaton in Illinois, University of Hawaii, and Boston University, Fordham, and Loyola U Chicago. By the way, the cakes that I made today are Chinese sponge cakes, so they're not cupcakes, just in case you were wondering. They look like this, and they're really nice and fluffy and super delicious and not too sugary, so my Asian family will actually eat these after I'm done with this video. I don't even know exactly how I came to deciding like I wanted to apply to every college, but I did have a college guide class in school in junior year, and then I also had a counselor at school, so she kind of like helped me come up with like some ideas, and then my parents definitely had some ideas of their own. But for me, I wasn't set on anything and I didn't have a dream school, so this was not like the easiest process because I just like wasn't sure, and I guess it was good in a way because I didn't have all my eggs in one basket, so I wasn't like devastated if something didn't turn out. So the main factors to consider when you're looking at colleges, I would say, is the social life, location. So would you end up having a career in that area, or do you like being in that area? Would you freeze to death? Size is like either class size or just the campus size, if you like a close-knit community or like a bigger one. If the teachers are there to actually teach you, or they're more research and they just kind of do this on the side. So it depends like how much they care about you basically. And then whether or not it's liberal arts also really matters, because if you go to a school that's really specialized in a certain thing, then if you want to switch majors later on, you're kind of screwed because they don't really offer that and you might have to transfer out. So it's definitely something to take in consideration, but if you're really sure it's what you want, then go for a specialized school. Also consider which programs and courses they have, which are gonna benefit your future and basically your major the most, and the opportunities around you. And I think the biggest one for most of us is probably money, so how much scholarship the school will give you, or just basically your overall cost of attendance. So last June, my parents and I went on a college tour vacation sort of thing, and I got to visit most of these schools. The only schools that I didn't get to visit were UCLA and Loyola U Chicago, and I visited all of these other ones. So for me, it was nice because I kind of got to get a sense of what the school is like, kind of feel out the vibes and stuff like that. So I went to go visit NYU, and I was actually really excited because I thought that it was going to be high on my list, but then I went and visited and I just didn't like it. So I don't know, I can't put my finger on it, but I feel like when you get those vibes, you listen to them, because I'm someone who usually trusts my gut and it never leads me the wrong way. So yeah, it just personally wasn't for me, but you will definitely still catch me flying to New York to go visit my friends. And just because a school isn't right for you doesn't mean that it's not a good school, because obviously so many kids go to that school for a reason, but it just really matters that you find a college that's fit is right for you as a person. So something that all these schools have in common are they're all in or super close to a big city, because for me, location was really important. I grew up here in Hawaii, and I just have had enough of like kind of a slow life, so I wanted to live the fast-paced city life. For vibes, I was looking for a school that could work hard but also play hard, because I like to do both, but I need that balance and people that'll keep me in check in both aspects. So that was pretty important to me too. For school spirit, I did kind of want school spirit, but it didn't really matter to me too much because in high school I went to one football game ever, so I can't say that it's like been a really big priority in my life, but I kind of do want it to be in college if possible. But it definitely wasn't like a deal breaker. It just was an added plus if they had good school spirit. So let's just start narrowing stuff down now. So the first school that I got accepted to was the University of Hawaii. This is my state school. So my state school, definitely cheap. I think it's like 15K because I get to pay the residence fee, obviously. I just never really wanted to stay in Hawaii because, as I mentioned earlier, I kind of wanted to experience a different type of life because I can definitely appreciate this life, but I think that it's cool to try to get new experiences, especially going to college. May as well try something new. But at the same time, I was also really considering financials, so going to UH would be really cheap. So I wanted to see if there was any mainland schools that wouldn't be too expensive for me to go to. So the next school that I got into was Fordham. Fordham gave me a full ride, like chef's kiss, thank you guys. And it's because I was a national merit semifinalist on the PSAT, so I'm gonna be doing a separate video on that. But basically I scored well on the PSAT, so a lot of these schools gave me a ton of scholarship because of that. So as soon as I knew that I got into Fordham with a full ride, I immediately eliminated University of Hawaii because I was only gonna go there if money was an issue, but since I got in full ride here, and I would just be paying around 20K a year, and that's not too much than if I was going to UH. By the way, this is Fordham in Lincoln Center, so it's not the one in the Bronx. The Lincoln Center one is right by Times Square in like the big city, and I loved the location so much. Oh, sorry, actually right before Fordham, I got into Loyola U Chicago, and I mostly applied because I have a lot of best friends in Chicago, but I later realized that I knew absolutely nothing about the school and why I wanted to go, so it was really on a whim, but it was free application, so I was like, you know, why not? And looking back on it, it was a really rash decision, but the school campus looks really nice and stuff, so I feel like it wouldn't have been a bad place for me to end up, but it just isn't for me. So since I knew a lot more about Fordham and also Fordham gave me more money, I eliminated Loyola Chicago. Next acceptance was Wheaton in Illinois. My best friend goes here. It is a very Christian school, so I did kind of like that aspect because I feel like it would help me keep in touch with faith, especially in college, because I know that things can get kind of wacky in college, so I thought that'd be good. Going to Wheaton would also be a good option because their tuition's really low, so I got a $16,000 scholarship, so after that my whole cost of attendance would only be around 20 to 30K, but ultimately I had to think about which education would be best for me, and Wheaton doesn't really have a great business program, so I did have to eliminate it. So also in December, I got into Loyola Marymount University. I really liked the campus when I went to visit. It's in LA. So they call it Silicon Beach because it's gonna kind of be like a second Silicon Valley sort of thing. So I knew that the opportunities here would be really great. They didn't give me as much scholarship as I was hoping for. It was more than double Fordham's price, so I was kind of iffy about that. I also got into Northeastern, and I think that was my last early action school. So I actually applied early to 6 schools, and I highly recommend you guys do that because first of all, you get to hear back sooner than everyone, and second of all, it shows the schools that you actually cared enough to turn in your app early. Plus, they usually give you more money if you apply earlier because, well, they have more funds to start with, you know? So just a little hack, make time, it's worth it. You're gonna have to spend that time anyways eventually, so may as well do it earlier. So for Northeastern, when I went to visit the campus, it didn't give me as much of the vibes as BU. I don't exactly know why, but the vibes were just a bit different. But I was really excited to get into Northeastern because obviously it's a great school and it's in Boston. Really loved Boston when I went to go visit, but I did visit in June, so a lot of people told me that I was probably deceived by the good weather in June. So being a Hawaii girl where the lowest the weather gets is 65 degrees Fahrenheit, I was probably gonna die, but I was kind of okay with that possibility. Next up, I got into USC. I didn't even know that decisions were coming out that day. If you've seen my college reaction video, I was very taken aback. That week I had the flu. It was like 2 days after Northeastern, and it came out really suddenly because turns out that these were just the special notifications for people who had gotten in and were gonna compete for a scholarship. So I honestly didn't know that this was gonna happen, but they somehow picked me. So I was like, I love you, thank you for making me feel so wanted, and I thought that was kind of cool. and I definitely liked the campus when I went to visit, and people always talk about like how good the vibes are, and I have a lot of friends who go here, so I was definitely considering this high on my list as well. So I got into USC in late January, and then the next decision after that was in late March, where like most colleges release their stuff. So I got into UCLA. UCLA is a state school, so they don't really give you scholarships unless you live there in California, I mean. And if you're a resident, then UCLA is such a good option. I was definitely going to consider UCLA if I didn't get into USC, but because USC would be cheaper for me since I'm a National Merit Scholar, I get half off automatically, so this one would just be a lot cheaper than this one, so I just like didn't really consider this as much. But if I hadn't gotten to USC, I think I definitely would have considered UCLA a lot more. And then the last school I got into was Boston University. Sorry guys, by the way, that all the colors are really off. The printer's kind of weird and acting up, so all the reds and yellows are really muted, but I don't think you care that much, so it's fine. Obviously, as I said, I really liked Boston, and I liked BU more than Northeastern, so when I got into BU, I kind of ruled out Northeastern because BU is also a bit cheaper, again because of my national merit. I got an automatic $25,000 scholarship. That's around half off, which is comparable to USC for sure. So I also did end up eliminating LMU because my cost of attendance was going to be comparable to USC and BU, and I just feel like their programs would have been better for me, so I eliminated it because the cost wasn't worth it for me to consider it. So here we have our final three: Northeastern, USC, and Fordham. I did end up eliminating Fordham because their Lincoln Center campus doesn't really have a business administration major, which is what I wanted. I had to apply to comp sci here because I didn't want to be in the Bronx location. I really wanted to be near Times Square because I thought being in the city was going to be really cool. So I realized that it's not really what's best for me, like major wise, and my major is probably going to affect what I'm going to do for the rest of my life, so I didn't want to make it based on me just wanting to be in New York City, so fortunately had to eliminate that one as well. So I also got to visit USC again right before college decisions because I went in very early March, right before LA declared a state of emergency, and I went up to go do my interview. So it was really nice to kind of get a campus refresher because after like 7 or 8 months, you do kind of forget. And I did take a lot of notes on my campus tours, but I kind of, it just starts fading out. But I feel like going to USC during the school year was game-changing because I got to meet like all the current students and I got to live with one of my friends there. I just had a really good time. Everyone was really warm and welcoming, and like she definitely helped sell it to me, and like all the current students, and they just seemed really proud of their school, so it definitely like made me kind of want to go to USC more. Also, I wanted to pursue more like social media things, and I feel like there is definitely a lot more happening in LA for that, with like meeting other fellow creators or just like brands and stuff like that. I feel like it would be a better move business wise because what I do on social media is going to be helping pay for college tuition, so it was definitely something important for me to consider, like my job opportunities and stuff like that. So ultimately I felt like being in LA was the best move for me and committed to USC. Hey guys, so I just wanted to share that if any of you are interested in getting some college tailgating merch or just, showing off what school you're going to, this video isn't sponsored, but Hype and Vice sent me some really cute collegiate gear, so I just wanted to share with you guys. Also, Hype and Vice doesn't just make merch for USC, they also have tons of other schools, so make sure you go check out their website. I'll link it in the description box, and you can use my code right here to get an additional 15% off your purchase. I love how collegiate met like trendy fashion pieces, and I'm just living for it. So thank you so much, Hype and Vice, for sending me these, and let's get back to the video. I am going to be in the Marshall School of Business as a business administration major. I plan to concentrate in entrepreneurship and then probably also add like a minor or something like that because there's just so many opportunities at USC and I really want to take advantage of all of them. I love how they encourage you to try everything, and it's very like liberal arts, so you can explore whatever you want to explore. You don't have to just stick in the business school, which I really like because I'm into a lot of stuff, and it was honestly really hard for me to just pick one major because what if I want like stuff meshed together, because in the real world that's how things work. So I really liked the liberal arts standpoint at USC. Plus guys, school spirit there is gnarly. It's crazy, but I love it, okay? Like, the football games I heard go hard, and I'm really excited for that. So everyone, we are going to have fall 2020 on campus at school because manifestation, law of attraction, it's gonna happen, okay? And we're gonna go to the football games, and it's gonna be a fun time. So here's to class of 2020. I think I talked long enough. I hope this was informative. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram at kkately because I'm gonna put up some more question stickers. I know a lot of you guys have questions, so I want to do like a Q&A. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Fight on. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Whatever you pick, I'm excited for you. Even if you go to UCLA, I support you in all of your endeavors wherever you go, and I know you guys will succeed and do a good job, but I wish you all the best. I'm really excited for all this college content, and thank you for always sticking with me. Like, it's honestly bizarre to me that so many of you watch my content and stuff, and you're just so sweet. I hope you're all staying safe and well with your families, and if you have the luxury of staying home, please try to stay home, and if you can, donate or try to help your healthcare heroes or heroes who are in the grocery store working, or just people who have jobs that require them to still be out and about. So God bless. I'll see you guys in my next video. Lots of kisses.